Get ready for a chilly day out this morning. It's beautiful, though. Take a look at this live look at the beautiful sunrise in Memphis. Good morning. It's Saturday, January 2nd, 2016. I'm Lauren Squires, and thanks so much for joining us this morning. The stories making headlines across the Mid-South are just minutes away. But first, let's check in with Brittany Bryant, who's live in the WMC Action News 5 First Alert Center. Brittany? Breaking news alert, Memphis police are trying to find a mother who may be threatening to kill her infant. Last night, investigators sent us this Facebook post from a woman using the name Frankie Brown. She wrote, "She hates the child's father and should kill the baby." Police do not know if this woman is from Memphis, but they want to find out. If you have any information about who this woman may be, you're asked to call police, and you can get a closer look at the post on our website, WMCActionNews5.com. Also breaking this morning, in northwestern India, security forces are fighting off a militant attack at an Air Force base near the Pakistani border. 4 attackers, a civilian and 2 security personnel were killed. A militant may still be hiding in a building this morning. At this time, though, no group has claimed responsibility. But the attack comes a week after India's prime minister met with his Pakistani counterpart to launch peace talks. Now to rising water on the Mississippi River. Just hours away from hitting flood stage, these are some photos of the river already creeping up onto parts of Mud Island and the low-lying areas. The river is expected to rise to 41 feet on January 8th. That's above the 34-foot flood stage in Memphis. If you remember back in 2011, that big flood, the crest was at 48.3 feet. Then floodwaters damaged neighborhoods in Memphis and Shelby County. And water is slowly draining from rivers up north in parts of Illinois. Water is finally receding, but it's left behind a lot of damage. Cars, roads, and entire neighborhoods submerged for days. Buildings were supposed to survive the flooding, but for them, it was a 1-2 punch in the same year.
It came up the steps in the basement, and it was almost in the laundry room. It came up the front porch, and we packed and came to the shelter.
Officials say towns will bounce back from the floods, but they're hoping freezing temperatures don't create a new problem, causing icy conditions. And make sure you keep your phone and tablet loaded with the WMC Action News 5 mobile apps. We'll alert you as soon as the Mississippi hits flood stage in Memphis and give you any advisories or road closures. Happening now this morning, a family in Memphis is asking for your help in finding their pug. It was stolen from a dog walker at gunpoint yesterday in downtown Memphis. Certainly a sad story. Janice Broach reporting there. Now, police say a maroon 1990 Honda Accord was carjacked earlier in the day. It's maybe the same car believed to be involved in the dog walker case. The dog walker reported the car had Tennessee tags 284XGF. If you have any information that could lead to an arrest or at least finding the pug, Nick, call police. And new details this morning about a guitar glitch on Beale Street New Year's Eve. It happened as thousands of people were counting down the new year. WMC Action News 5's Sasha Jones with the details of what held up the drop and what organizers are doing to fix it. Nothing wrong with a few extra seconds. That was Sasha Jones reporting. Now, from what we've gathered, the VIP patrons were allowed closer access to the guitar drop, but Hard Rock Cafe representatives say they are already working to ensure a safe, happy, and on-time kickoff to 2017. And a breaking news update we first brought you Thursday at 10. A man is now dead after he was found tied up in his home. Police say 78-year-old Paul Mayer was a victim of a home invasion several days ago on Print Avenue. Then robbers left him beaten with a bag over his head. He later died at the hospital yesterday morning.
Anyone who would do something to a 78-year-old man like this, tie him up, beat him, and leave him for dead, is an animal.
Now, his grandson says he lived alone and had been robbed once before. He also dealt with graffiti on his fence. Police are still trying to track down the man's car. It was stolen during the attack. It's a 2001 Mercury with a Tennessee tag 050YMC. And new this morning, a woman police say was murdered and thrown in a ditch to die is now being laid to rest. Police say Latoria Hall, several weeks pregnant, was killed. Investigators have identified the person accused of her murder, and they're searching for the woman, 19-year-old Jolene Watts. You see her picture right here. She's also known as Lil Mama. Another person, Sean Montgomery, was charged with accessory after the fact. Police say he admitted to helping dump Hall's body near the airport. Hall's funeral will be held at Peace Baptist Church at noon today. If you have any information about Jolene Watt's whereabouts, please call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. And switching gears, listen up. This may impact dozens, perhaps hundreds of SUVs and trucks out on the road right now. And no one is doing anything about it, except our chief investigator, Andy Wise. New and next on WMC Action News 5 Weekend, the new day, Sunday after New Year's, is now a new national holiday. We'll see why coming up. Plus, Bluebell Creameries is under fire again, why the company is now facing. Good morning and welcome back. The Southern Weekend explores food, fun, and travel in the South. And this week, host Molly McKinney stops by Cafe Strudel in Columbia, South Carolina to get a taste of their famous dessert. And now I'm hungry. If one of your New Year's resolutions was to find love, tomorrow might be the day for you. Dating website Match.com has declared the Sunday after New Year's Day Dating Sunday. The site says they see a 60% spike in new members between Christmas and Valentine's Day. The Sunday after New Year's Day is their busiest day of the year. So Dating Sunday is what they call as close to a national holiday for single daters as you can get, or perhaps the anti-Valentine's Day. And if that's not enough, Dairy Queen restaurants across the country are kicking off the new year with a resolution. Participating restaurants are now vowing to serve blizzards upside down. The next one is free if they don't do that for you. Now, why upside down, you ask? Well, it's to prove their thickness and deliciousness. And speaking of ice cream, the U.S. Department of Justice is now investigating how Bluebell Creameries handled their contamination reported last year. 3 people allegedly died as a result of the contamination. Prosecutors are examining whether company executives committed a crime in the handling of the outbreak. After weeks of gradual recalls, you may remember they pulled all products from shelves back in April. That was after they found listeria outbreak. Now, investigation leads to the outbreak, saying it dates back to 2010. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for good weather for the Liberty Bowl today, right? Later on at kickoff.
Yes, good weather too, and it's perfect.
And new this morning, new year, new mayor. Jim Strickland was sworn in yesterday afternoon. He's called this election the biggest shakeup of city government in a quarter century. In a bid to rebuild the city's tax base, he's inviting more people to move back to Memphis and promising a relentless attack against crime. Joe Birch has the story. Now, Strickland also asked his team at City Hall to be brilliant at the basics of city government. Pick up the trash, pave the streets, clean up blight, and fix 911. You can watch the entire speech on our website at WMCActionNews5.com. One of the hottest holiday gifts is facing some tough rules in California. Children under the age of 16 are now banned from riding hoverboards in public areas. And adults need to use bike lanes and stick to roads with a speed limit of 35 miles per hour or slower. Riders must also wear a helmet. Makes sense, but it's something not everyone's happy to hear.
I just got this board, and now you're going to come out with a law 2 days later? Like, who does that? You know how much this thing cost? And I'm not going to wear a helmet. Like, I got to look cute doing this.
She must have good balance. Riders say the rules go too far since the boards are on the top, or don't top out at any more than 10 miles per hour. The DMV says it's a way to keep riders from blocking traffic. And the fine, get this, is $250. Might be worth following the rules. Caught on camera, a New Year's Eve surprise proposal at a Memphis memorial. I was there to capture the big moment. Such a sweet moment. Congratulations to the new happy engaged couple. Happening now, we're counting down to the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Here's a live look outside at the stadium. Today, Kansas State versus University of Arkansas. But here's the bad news. If you were planning to go and you don't have tickets, the game is sold out. But free parking shuttles are being offered from the University of Memphis and the Central Library. Kickoff is at 2:20. Look for all the highlights later today on WMC Action News 5. And of course, last night, the Ole Miss Rebels met Oklahoma State for the first time since the 2004 Cotton Bowl, this time in the All-State Sugar Bowl. They won the matchup. You're looking at the score right there. Ole Miss won 48-20. And later on, just a few minutes, Carrie Anderson will have all the highlights. Well, I've got some good news to report. We just found out. In fact, I was just checking my email, sorry, while you were doing the report. We were talking about Nick, the pug, who was stolen, robbed at gunpoint, has been returned to its owners. So that's really good news. We just got word into our newsroom. We'll have much more on that story on our website at WMCActionNews5.com. And with that, I'm going to toss to dog lover Carrie Anderson for sports.